Just me facing me? Sure.
It's facing you currently.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we got people.
Good morning. Good night. Hey, from Utah, East Texas. What's up? Howdy. Well, not good news. Uh, Coming out of the Rockingham County, North Carolina Courthouse, uh, District Court. Not good news. So we're going live to update you guys because there's uh, there's more injustice happening here, and we wanted to let the public know, we want to let the world know what's going on. So the court date today is for the case out of Madison, North Carolina, where sitting like I am now on the passenger side of our van, and Mrs. Justice and I were enjoying each other's company on a Friday night. We were attacked, assaulted, battered, and I was kidnapped by some of the Madison police, and there's a couple Maiden police. So they ultimately, after long rigmarole and talking with the magistrate, decided to charge me with resisting an officer. Okay. So that's the current charge, and that's what this case is here in Rockingham County. We thought resisting an officer, they were charging it because I wasn't giving them ID, which I'm not required to. They didn't suspect me of any crime. So, you're supposed to be secure in your papers, person's house in effect, right? Fourth Amendment. Well, we have a defense attorney, and he let me know that they're expecting me here today. We found out yesterday, and so we made an effort to communicate with the court. We asked them yesterday if they have any orders or bans on electronics for the building, and they said they do. So I asked to speak to their disability coordinator, who is Vicky. I'm not sure her last name, but she works for one of the judges here at the Rockingham County Courthouse in North Carolina. But she's the new ADA coordinator. I spoke to Vicky on the phone yesterday. I made the request to her over the phone. We have audio of that request. I requested a reasonable modification for effective communication under Title II of the ADA to allow me in with my assistive devices. And she refused to accept and process that request. She said I had to put it in writing and put it in the mail. I said, well, I'm blind, I can't put it in writing, and the mail wouldn't get there before our court date today. So she said that it has to be in 30 days prior to your court date, which is not true under the ADA, federal law, and it's not true even under the state policy for the AOC, for the administration of the court, on submitting requests for accommodation. When we found their policy on the AOC, on the North Carolina AOC website, and their policy on making ADA requests is very specific. It says that you can make it at any time before your court date to any staff of the court, and they are to process that request. So today we came to the parking lot of the courthouse, which we're now leaving. We will be back because they want me back at 11:45, 11:50, something like that. We came acting in good faith. The defense attorney advised that, for me not to try to go in, since as it stands, they have not accepted my request for modification. So he was going to go in and try to, ask for the dismissal. And so he went in. The DA, he says the DA was, you know, basically wanting to get me on something. And he said that their basis for the charge and the cause of nature, I guess, is they said that I told Mrs. Justice to not produce ID to Keith Binfield, which is not true. In the video, she asked, should I just give my ID? And I said, no, not yet. Or just wait a minute. The reason I told her that was because I had no idea where he was and if he could see her, and I wanted her to make sure she communicated to him prior to making any sudden movements or reaching for anything, because he already came violent and was threatening to smash the window. So that's their whole claim. That's their whole basis for the resisting an officer charge. They're claiming that I told her not to produce ID. When in fact, in the video, I did tell her to produce ID. There's that in the video where I'm telling her to actually go ahead and give the ID. He's threatening violence. And so then she communicates, she's reaching for it, and she threw it at him. And then ultimately gave it to him after he demanded that he physically take position. So they are currently not allowing me to go in with assistive devices. They're not processing my request for reasonable modification under the Title II of the ADA. And they at 11:45, 11:50, so like an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. In which case, our defense attorney went in and talked with, I think it was probably the DA, about the situation, and he was citing their local policy of 30 days. You have to have 30 days notice for reasonable accommodation, which is not in following of the state policy with the administration of the court, and it's not following federal law under the ADA. So he was pointing that out to him, but the prosecutor was saying basically he's going to ask for no effect, which means that he's going to ask the judge to issue a failure to appear warrant for me if I do not present myself, in the courtroom for the judge. So I was there. I told him yesterday that I want to have access to the court, equal access to the court, and this is what I need to have equal access, to use my assistive device. And they've refused thus far to grant equal access. They've even refused to respond appropriately under the ADA in writing and dictating how it's an undue burden or hardship. So, yeah, we plan on, again, going to the new time, same day today, the new time. We plan on going and attempting to get inside with my devices to go to my scheduled hearing. And if they deny me access, that's on, again, they are refusing me access. They're refusing me equal access to the courts in Rockingham County, North Carolina. So we will take it from there. So I don't know. They may arrest me today for simply standing on my rights and wanting equal access, which is what they arrested me for in Madison, was for standing on rights. Yeah. So that's where we are right now. Mrs. Justice is stressed and afraid that they're going to do me harm, because they would put me right there in the same building or adjacent building where the all right. That's right, Joe Black. Good. Yep. Yeah, you're posting exactly the policy. It doesn't say anything about a 30-day requirement. It doesn't say, because that's not legal. What they're doing is violating state and federal law. on discrimination against people with disabilities. So we're gonna go try to get a bite to eat, and then use the bathroom, and then go back. Yeah, we don't have a good feeling about it. But we anticipate them using violence and kidnapping me again, even though I'm acting in good faith and trying to do business with the court. Only because they're demanding it. Like, it's not that I want to; it's under duress. Like, they are forcing me to do business with them. So, yeah. Hey, American Amy. Huh? Oh, currently, we have a cop behind, according to Miss Justice. So we're gonna pull off. 10th man, hey. Hey, Mike Taylor. So to get accommodation modification, made a request yesterday on the phone through their ADA coordinator, Vicki, and she refused to process the request. So that's a refusal to accommodate or modify. That's a violation of the ADA. My defense attorney recommended that I not try to go in the building at 8:30. And that he would try to get a dismissal because they don't have a case. The prosecution doesn't have a case. So he went in, and the DA said that they're still sticking with the charges of resisting an officer and claiming that I told Mrs. Justice not to provide her ID, which is not true. She asked if she should get it at a certain time, and I said no, not yet. Just wait, because I didn't know the position of the attacker, and I wanted her to make sure she communicated clearly that she had to reach for her ID because he was already in an unstable state and was threatening violence. And then eventually, I said, okay, give him the ID, show him the ID because he's threatening violence. Like, let's communicate. That's in the video. Like, you can all see it. So that's their whole case, and at least that's what the DA said that they're basing their case on. Just factually incorrect, and there's video and audio evidence proving that. Yeah. So they're not currently, the prosecutor's not dropping charges, but as it stands, they are not permitting me in with my assistive devices. So they're demanding that I stand before a judge, but they're not allowing me to go in with my assistive devices. That's like saying that a person that is wheelchair bound has to go before a judge, but he can't use a wheelchair. Person with hearing aids has to go stand before a judge, but he can't have his hearing aid. So that's currently where we are. We plan on again showing up at the courthouse. We were there today, but the last communication we had was that they would not grant equal access. They would discriminate against me because of my disability, and so we did not try to gain entry to the building because the defense attorney was there to do so on my behalf. At this next hearing, hopefully they will allow me access. Then they, again, blocking me entry